Libra, let's start with your reading. Today, we are going to look into the energies around you at the moment, and then we will take a look into the events coming up for you in the next few months. All right, let's start with your main energy. Okay, your first message today is, I honor how I want to feel. And this is an important message for you, Libra, that reminds you to always pay attention to how you're feeling in a specific situation and with specific people. Especially for Libra people, you need to be very conscious of your feelings and emotions because they have the power to tell you about things that your eyes can't see. You need to use that as a tool, as your compass, driving you towards what makes you happy and away from what doesn't have the power to make you happy. There is something here that can be found just by you staying true to your emotions and to how you feel. Don't disregard your feelings and don't postpone happiness. That's what I'm seeing here. So let's see what this message is about. Let's do 3 shuffles and let's begin with your reading. Okay. Oh my God, this looks so beautiful, but obviously it can look beautiful, but it needs you to really do the right thing here. And we got a preview from the beginning of the reading with the first message. But first of all, what we see is 5 of Swords, 8 of Wands reversed, and this 5 of Cups is definitely connecting to this message as well. 8 of Wands reversed. Someone is speaking with their silence. Someone is trying to make a statement with their current behavior, wanting to get a message across, a message that can be communicated only this way. As you might know, the 8 of Wands usually talks about incoming communication, movement, and progress as well. In this case, it's still true even if it's reversed, but it's happening in a way that doesn't make it obvious on the surface and in the eyes of the people involved in this very situation. It feels that someone might be just too tired of repeating the same things over and over, going through the same arguments where the both of you do talk, but no one really listens. That's what the 5 of Swords talks about. Silly arguments, or maybe not so silly, but just arguments where the two people are not listening to each other. Right here, you're tired of trying to make something work, or even trying to fully move on from the situation once for all. And now, if this energy comes from you at least, you feel that the best way to really bring progress here is by not engaging in this any longer, at least for the time being. What's important to know is that someone on the other side of this is actually listening, and they are definitely impacted by this somehow. 5 of Cups. This is an energy that does talk about regret, and it also talks about a realization, understanding how important someone has been and still is in their life. It might feel like the two of you are now as far apart as you've ever been, but sometimes the geographical distance makes two people closer together emotionally. And that's what we see as a pattern overall in this reading. Someone not talking, but communicating. Two people becoming very distant with their bodies, perhaps, but getting closer with their hearts. Again, I really see with this Five of Cups that someone might be thinking, I didn't love you as much as I could. And the silence is killing me now. And keep in mind that the silence might have been going on for a while now, but for some reason, right now, it's impacting this person more than it had up to this point. And keep in mind that the silence might have been going on for a while now, but for some reason, right now, it's impacting this person more than it has up to this point. We'll have to look into why this is. Now, in the middle of the reading, we see the Eight of Cups, Page of Cups, and death, rebirth. I mean, this is clearly what's happening right here and what's changing also the overall dynamic, potentially, of this situation. The Page of Cups is very important right here because it tells us something that you might not know about. Regardless of what has happened in between the two of you, regardless of potential betrayals, lies that brought you to just move on from this, trying to move on from this at least, we see that the main cause of the issue is the fact that someone doesn't know how to handle this, doesn't know how to handle love. They're very inexperienced when it comes to love. The Page energy is someone who's still learning and who has a lot to learn still. I know that it might sound silly, but most relationships experience issues because the people in it don't know how to handle strong emotions, boundaries, and fears. It's not that people just enter relationships and then regret it after a few minutes that they're in it. Most people just do not know how to handle this. But listen, this is someone who has a lot of love for you, someone who has a lot to say, who would want to find a way to be able to communicate their real feelings and let you know about things that they've never shared with you. But at the same time, this is someone who thinks, how do I make you stay when it's just easier to let you go? Sometimes, in fact, it's easier to hurt someone than to tell them you love them. And right here, I just see an overall inability to be transparent and communicate something that is very simple yet powerful. There is something they would want to tell you, but for now, it's hidden. And not because they're hiding it, but because they haven't been able to formulate the very thought that surrounds the truth. We'll have to dig into this in order to understand what this is about. Now, with this death rebirth card, I do see that you are in the middle of a big change in your life, Libra. And I feel that most of you might be thinking, really, Dash? Everything is the same around here. Nothing is changing. Same old, same old. But here's the thing. The biggest shifts in life happen slowly. They happen silently. You don't see them happening and actively changing your environment. And that's why also they are permanent. As we were saying earlier, in this reading, something looks in a way, but then it turns out to be completely different. It feels like you are in the house of mirrors. You're looking at yourself, but you're seeing your image and the image of the world around you in a distorted way. Your perception right now, at least, is not aligned with the reality. And you need to keep in mind that in order to align with the reality, you need to listen to how you feel. Your emotions right now are your eyes. Don't underestimate that, because that's very important for you right now. Now, next we have the Sun, the Empress, and the King of Wands as well. Listen, what we see right here with the Eight of Cups is that by you detaching from this person or this connection or this dynamic, you are walking towards the sun, and it won't be long until you find it. But I do have two different messages for you here. With the Empress, we probably see the most important one though. When you look in the mirror, what do you see, Libra? Are you loving yourself with the same love that you expect from the people around you? Keep in mind that other people's actions and words don't have to define your self-worth and don't have to define your journey at all. That house of mirror metaphor, that house of mirrors metaphor is really reflecting in a lot of the messages here. And it's important for you to realize that relationships and events in general are nothing but a reflection of what you have inside. If something resonates with you and impacts you negatively, it's because you are the first person who believes it. And so the Empress is reminding you to love the person in the mirror, regardless of how distorted the image might be. She is reminding you to be unapologetic about what you want and about how you want to go for the things that you want, not changing for anyone and not letting anyone change you, regardless of how hurt you might feel after certain events. If you don't believe that you deserve certain events, certain things that have been done to you, and if you don't believe that at the end of the day that's all you can afford, then they shouldn't impact you as much. Keep this in mind and work on this as much as you can, especially considering that we finally do see real movement coming your way with this King of Wands and the Sun again. Someone is really taking the lead in this situation and moving towards you with the Three of Wands. Actually I said towards you, but this might be you or it might be this person. We'll have to see when we clarify. But overall, this was the element needed in order to really get out of a situation that has been stagnant for way too long. And in order to finally align with this transformation that has been undergoing for you for longer than you know, and that now is coming to a turning point just because you're finally aware of it. What comes next will potentially challenge your very beliefs around this situation and around the image that you have of yourself as well, Libra. So let's start clarifying and let's see where this transformation is taking you. Let's look into this King of Wands in order to understand who is making this move and how it's going to impact your own journey in the next few months. I know that it has been hard and complicated, but it really feels as though you are on the peak of the mountain. And from here on out, it's going to be all downhill. Downhill towards where though? Let's find out. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, Libra, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week, I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free personal live 30-minute reading. We will talk face to face on webcam, obviously, so make sure to be prepared for that as well. I send out emails every Monday morning to confirm. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Libra. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the upcoming events is honestly a beautiful one. We have the Four of Swords, and what we see here is that you are reconnecting with yourself once again. This is going to be such an important time because right here, you understand that you need to create rules for yourself, boundaries for yourself before this actually comes in. So what we see right here is that you realize that you don't have to try hard to impress someone and that the only person that you really need to impress is yourself. You don't even know, but this change of mindset, it's going to change the world around you. And it's going to bring that sun energy, which honestly is all you wanted to see. Eight of Cups, moving on from a situation that was way too negative in order to find happiness again. Whatever that it's going to be, doesn't matter how it's going to manifest. as long as you can be happy once again. So right here, we see that happiness needs to come from within you first. You need to do this Empress Four Swords energy to go through it in order to really find yourself. Now, what comes next? It just feels like a domino effect. Once you do this, this domino effect starts and the pieces will be revealed one after the other by changing the landscape around you completely. So let's see what this is then. Let's clarify this Three of Wands, King of Wands, to understand what you should expect in the near future. And then we will see how it's going to impact your overall journey in the next few months. All right. Oh my God, the Chariot. Five of Swords once again. Okay. So what we see right here is exactly the opposite of everything that you've received from this situation up to this point. And the first reason why we say that, it's because